Prior to installing Hunter fans, mark off the work area and make sure the breaker is on and all lockout-tagout procedures are followed. Adjusting the downrod. Hunter pre-wires all downrods, allowing for a plug-and-play installation. The Hunter adjustable downrod ships from the factory in the shortest configuration, but if a longer length of the downrod is necessary for the application, adjust the downrod at the ground level before installing to the building structure. To adjust the downrod, remove the 2 adjustment bolts and hardware. Slide the upper and lower tubes apart until the matching pair of adjustment holes line up to achieve the desired length. Take care not to extend the downrod beyond the warning label. Replace the 2 adjustment bolts and hardware. Turn the adjustment bolts clockwise to 53.8 foot-pounds until bolts are tightly secured. Downrod mounting. To prepare the downrod for mounting, align the shims between the mounting plate and beam clamp using the hardware provided. For wider beams, use the outermost access slots. Place the clamp on one side of the structure. Tighten the hardware until the mount is secure. It should still be able to move slightly. Assemble the other shim and tighten it to the structure. I-beam mounting. Center the mount under the structure, making sure the clamps have maximum coverage on both sides. Then, tighten the hardware completely. Retention safety cable. Wrap the retention cable from the downrod around the beam or building structure. Ensure the retention cable length is shorter than the power cable at the motor connection. Leave about 3 inches of slack in the wire and cable at the top of the downrod opening. Coil the excess cable and secure with the provided clamps. Motor installation. Hunter's direct drive motor is not only efficient, but light enough in weight an individual can move it. Be careful when removing the motor from its packaging. Do not lift the motor from the motor power cable. Line up the holes from the retention cable into the fork. Insert the clevis pin into the retention rod and secure it with the provided clip. Connect the plug from the motor with the downrod connector. Twist until the connector locks. Lift the motor assembly while feeding the studs through the downrod flange. Gently feed the excess wire and cable through the top of the downrod. Be sure not to pinch the cable between the motor and the downrod flange. Secure each stud with the nylon lock nuts. Guy wire installation. Begin by loosely placing the provided gripple bolts into all 4 gripples. Measure to ensure equal distance between the beam claps and fan. Attach the beam claps to the structure and tighten. After the beam claps are tightly secured to the building structure, clip the 15-foot guy wire end to the beam clap. Thread the 15-foot guy wire cable through one end of the gripple until a few inches protrude through the opposite end. Clip the end of the 2-foot guy wire to the eye bolt of the turnbuckle. Feed the opposite end of the 2-foot guy wire through the same gripple as the 15-foot guy wire. Hook the turnbuckle to the downrod disc. Tighten each turnbuckle by hand in a crisscross pattern. Repeat this process for the remaining guy wires. Place a magnetic post level against the downrod, periodically ensuring the downrod is plumb with no slack in the guy wires, and the downrod is fully stable, allowing for close to a 45-degree angle of the guy wire. Tighten each set screw on the turnbuckles. Trim any excess cable from the guy wires and then tighten the gripple bolts. DDI blades. With the numbers on the blade holder facing up, insert the press studs through the holes in the blade holder. Hand screw the nylon lock nuts onto the press studs to hold it in place. Tighten the nylon lock nuts on the press studs using the 19mm wrench or socket. Repeat for the remaining blades. VFD. Prep the variable frequency drive for mounting to the structure. VFD hardware is not included, and mounting methods may vary. Mount the VFD directly above the fan. Position the VFD with the plug connector panel facing down. Connect the motor cable from the fan to the VFD by aligning the pins within the connector before performing a clockwise twist to lock in place. Connect the Ethernet communication cable to port COM1. Run the other side of the communication cable to the HMI. Plug the VFD power whip to the appropriate power receptacle and twist clockwise to lock. DDI 3-speed controller. Secure the HMI controller to any convenient location using the provided mounting bracket. Feed one end of the cable through the desired junction box opening and insert it into the connector jack on the inside of the controller. Ensure the Ethernet communication cable from the lead drive is connected to the HMI controller, and replace the faceplate and reinstall the 2 screws.